Hi, I'm Ian, and as you know, I am the designer at Abruzzi, and today we're going to talk about karting boots. There they are, they look a bit bland, but as you know, we pride ourselves on being custom at Abruzzi, so you can have your own name, flag, your logo, and look at the colours, everything you could want from under the rainbow. There's suedes, there's leathers, the possibilities are almost endless. There's reds, there's blues, there's greens, orange, pink, everything. Squirrels! No, not squirrels. Gold looks nice though. Get your custom boots and gloves at abruzzi.co.uk. All of our products are high quality and handmade, so get your wear your way.
And we are green. Evenly start inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Hollinger.
The drivers around the corners as long as they hit their...
Max off lid. We're racing with race number 1.
the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the two wheels in the open road.
Alright, everyone, welcome here live on MaxSpeedTV. We got the Loose Lug Nuts Racing League with the K&N All-Star Summer Series and the Arc Menards car here on the iRacing. So, we're back at Richmond for 115 short track laps around this 3/4 mile speedway. About a full field of 30-something cars out here. Looks like we'll get to that info in just a second. Let's go ahead and bring up the weather conditions and what's going on with the track or whatnot. Fuel load on these machines here tonight, 70%, so I imagine they'll get close to at least one pit stop if we get some green flag pit stops in there tonight. Who knows? It is short track, so I imagine we'll see a couple yellows. Weather set it up, realistic, dynamic, and all that, if you know anything about the iRacing side of things, but partly cloudy out there, air temp sitting around 79 degrees. Track temp 81, actually a really cool track temp if you think of the time of day and whatnot. I would assume at least a cool track is not there. I do see we're having a little bit of connection problems with some of our racers out there. Hopefully that gets figured out. At least Justin Michael, one of those guys, qualifying underway. Single car qualifying, 3 laps possible over 5-minute period. I'm sure a lot of these guys looking for some fast times. No points up right now, but I do imagine Scott Patton, the guy that's on top of the qualifying board at this very moment, is there in the top or near the top of points after winning the first 2 weeks. Jason Lance, a usual Saturday guy in that 86 machine. He is now third on the board as Daniel Smallwood takes over the top spot. They can put down 22-0 times if they want, but more or less that 22-1 is about as fast as you'll see these guys on a qualifying run. Yep, trouble spot, turn 4. Yeah, that's a good thing. This car is a little bit snappy too on the back straightaway. It's really the acceleration points off the corner. Mr. Kennedy's bringing up out there on the chat. So it's difficult out there. Nighttime setting here, so it should help. With tire wear. It's all about how you get around this speedway. So I imagine we'll see different lines, and obviously you got to know how to run that outside line at least long enough to where you can find a hole. Got some admin chat going on right now. Hopefully I'm not muted, but just dealing with that real quick and wait for these guys. About 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Daniel Smallwood still on top of that board. Scott Patton moved back to second. 21 cars so far have put down a time. More or less, I think we're going to get maybe 1-2 more guys, so some of them will choose not to. Still waiting on some of this stuff to figure it out. A lot of these guys have already taken their 3 laps. We'll be getting down that board. Might as well shout out those sponsors while we got the moment. Brucey Raceway USA, title sponsor here over Loose Lug Nuts Racing for the most part. And then we got Over the Top Designs with John Hendrick, best iRacing paints out there. MaxSpeedTV, ASN, our 2 broadcasters and sponsors here. And RaceGear.com for their continued support over the years. See a shout out there already for that number 12 machine.
All right, practice is almost over.
Looks like Trent is, let's see, down there in 19th. Usual qualifying around for Trent. He'll work his way through the field as long as that car is clean. I do say that every week, don't I, for Trent? Because he normally does do that. All right, going to be switching over to the grid session. Let these guys get down on track real quick, and then we'll get down through the lineup. Lineup brought to you by Golly Valley Painting. All right, let's go ahead and run down that board, starting with our leader, Daniel Smallwood. He's doing well there. Fast time 22.122. Scott Patton is outside pole with a 22.136, so about 100th off there for Scott Patton. Third, Jason Lance, good qualifying time for him. Rob Haynes, 4th. Kevin Winter, 5th. Aaron Bennett, 6th. And Dan Murray, I haven't seen a lot of him on track or at all, really. He'll be 7th. Wes Holland, 8th. Justin Michael, 9th. Brandon Murray, 10th. Vernon Markheim, 11th. Anthony Giuliano, and hopefully he told me earlier how to say that. Hopefully I said it right, Anthony. Judd Danielson in the 85 and Bruising Machine, 13th. Ronald Klein, 14th. James Noon, 15th. Brandon Thornhill, 16th. Robert Matisse, 17th. Mark Jackson, 18th. Trent Drum, 19th. Brian Eady, 20th. David Johnson, 21st. Bob Wells, 22nd. Jeff Merck, 23rd. Greg Mall finished 2nd in a great run on Thursday, but he's starting 24th tonight, no qualifying time. Sean Dorr, 25th. Thomas Cristiano, 26th. Garrett Potts, 27th. Jeremy Crandall, 28th. Craig Covington, 29th. And if Ken Richardson can get logged back in, I know he was having some trouble there with his connection. So we'll have to monitor that, see if the 16 gets back. The EOL handed out for Brian Eady out there. I think he qualified around the 20th spot. I know I just mentioned it, but I forget that quick. Getting warmed up around the speedway. We'll have a 1-lap pacer around extra than we normally do. EOL was handed out for that driver because he had no laps during practice, and I don't think the admins know his racecraft just yet. A lot of good early picks out there. We saw Daniel Smallwood at Bristol dominate that race. There was a bit of cautioning, but at the same time, he dominated the race at a short track when he led out front. Now, tires are going to be a little bit more important than Bristol, but I think Daniel Smallwood has the potential to do it, and it's always scary to see Scott Patton there up to you this early. All right, final time around the back straightaway. We'll get these cars kicked off. 29-car field. Yep, Judd needs a checker here at Loose Lug Nuts, that's for sure, Michelle. He's working on it. All right, pace car about to dive down First start is on the flagman, so they got to get to that box. Waiting. Here we go. Green flag showing. Daniel Smallwood leads off the race here at Richmond. Watching all the way through turn 1 through all these drivers figuring out their lines, especially off of turn 4, getting those tires up and going. How about that? We got a battle for second already. Scott Patton not able to close the bottom down. Jason Lance working through. Scott Patton on the high side, 86 of Jason Lance on the low. Kevin Winter goes low. Scott Patton wins the battle into the corner. Can he get off the corner? There goes the 921. Looks like Jason Lance chose the bottom. Going to slow up Kevin Winter just behind him. Mostly single car through the field. People up, around. Almost was Brandon Murray back there. I think he straightened her out, though, or someone helped him. Still green on the field. Let's go back and view Brandon Murray, who I think is in 10th place at the moment. That number 2 machine just had a scare. Looks like Wes Holland in front of him, up under Justin Michael in the mellow yellow machine. See, I said it right the first time. Brandon Murray still working the bottom there. Under the champ, well, the reigning champ here at Loose Lug Nuts, Justin Michael. Still looks real good, real hard battle here for the 2 machine. Just barely beating the 87 off the corner in front. There goes Wes Holland up under 945 of Aaron Bennett. Let's take a look at that battle for position number 7. Wes Holland to the inside. Ooh, Aaron Bennett just shuts the door on Brandon Murray, says only one at a time, please. Wes Holland makes the pass. Here comes Brandon Murray. We'll stay with Aaron Bennett here. Brandon Murray looks low. Aaron Bennett a little bit diming the corner. Brandon Murray has to lock down the brakes. Misses the middle of his corner. Still fast, though. Good hard racing. Aaron Bennett away. Let's move back to Justin Michael. He seems to be falling through the field. 10th place, Justin Michael. And not necessarily falling this early, but not as fast as we normally see. The 87 machine hasn't really completed a race under these ARCA cars. Been a little bit difficult where he's starting getting a grip on these short track racing style. Really dominant mile-and-a-half racer here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. I think we got a battle going on for third. Let's go take a look up at Jason Lance and that 86 machine. Just watching the timing loop there. Looked like Kevin Winter was on his bumper. Jason Lance actually working on the back end of the 921. At the same time, Kevin Winter almost dipped that left front below the yellow through the corner. That will get the car sideways. Thankfully, the 78 did not have a lot of tire spin. Daniel Smallwood almost out to a second lead early on. Here goes Jason Lance. Watch the 86. He's up under the 921 of Scott Patton. Jason Lance, nice smooth corner. Good entry on the bottom. Exit off was good. A little bit slow, obviously, with that exit not being able to power to the high side. Still working the 921. Kevin Winter fills the gap. Oh, almost shoots off the corner there. Kevin Winter slow and sideways. He's got Rob Haynes climbing all over the back end of that 78 machine. Scott Patton gets back down in the third. 78 of Kevin Winter up on the bumper. Scott Patton letting the 86 get by. Here goes the 78 with a deep dive. Scott Patton, well, that was nice of the 921. Could have shut that door with a little bumper jab. There goes the 78. Getting third place, Rob Haynes. Going to have to watch him in a second. See if Scott Patton doesn't shut the door. Scott Patton is a whole lot nicer racer than I would have been, Kevin Winter. Here goes Scott Patton with the do-si-do. He tries to get back up under the 78. See, 78 just shuts the door. Garrett Potts takes it over the wall and is done for the season. So that was the 938. Not sure what happened. He's nearly the full race down. So let's go take a look at our leader because we haven't got to see much of him. He's just been out in front, and this is what we see with Daniel Smallwood. Clean car, clean track ahead of him, at least till he hits the back of the field. It's real nice, John, that paint scheme from Over the Top Paints and Designs. Over the Top Designs, excuse me. Quick look at our leader. He's a 1.2, 1.3 seconds ahead of Jason Lance. See if Jason getting up to second helps make up any of that time. I'm going to try to find a battle through the field here. Most of our racers are singled out. It's all about tire conservation at this point. Lap 15 for our leaders around the speedway. Maybe a battle back here for 23rd position. Just barely missing it, I think. Thomas Cristiano in the 060 making the pass on David Johnson, the 15. Nice quick pass, and Flyboy up there on the chat of YouTube does bring up a good point. I practically skipped over it. It is a fixed setup, therefore the only two things you can change is wheel ratio and brake bias. Brake bias probably being the most important of them all here at the short speedways. 3/4 miles braking is an efficient process around here. Just up in front of him, we got a battle with Brandon Thornhill and another driver. That's for position number 20. Yep, Brandon Thornhill on the inside of the 951. That's James Noon. 952, Anthony Giuliano gets through there. James Noon on that outside. Nice scruffed up looking STP paint scheme there from the 952, who's trying to fit up in front of the 951. 952, I'm not even seeing him on my board at this moment. Anthony G's actually 3 laps down, so not sure what happened there. So James Noon actually only loses 1 spot. Position number 15, here we go. Here's Mark Jackson, keeping the nose on the car this week at Richmond. We were here on Sunday night, this past Sunday. 6 days ago, he was having an awful time keeping a nose on front of that Cup car. Looking to do much better, looking to increase his long run. I heard him talking earlier about how good he felt on the long run. Got his teammate behind him, Jeff Merck, who's probably doing about the same. Mark Jackson always looking good in those paint schemes. Dale Earnhardt, obviously, the main idea behind a lot of his schemes. Saw Jeff Merck just blow his corner entry this past time, so we'll have to see what happened there. Driver aforementioned up here, Judd Danielson, position number 13. Actually, we got a 3-wide battle in front of Judd Danielson. Almost ended up bad. Still 3-wide battle. West Holland on the outside. Oh, around goes the 87 to the wall. Judd Danielson just in the back end of the 4, and Mark Jackson collected.
But I'll leave that up to you.
Oh boy, first caution out here, lap 23. We're going to have to go take a look at that replay. Practically saw it coming. It started with Wes Holland on the outside. He was in a 3-wide battle. A little bit of a shot out of the corner from the 87, I think. Or Wes Holland may have been off the wall. I have to get a closer look myself. Wes Holland a little bit angled off the wall, not necessarily. Gets the 87 sideways. Around goes the 87. In comes Judd Danielson, who we switched over to. And then just behind Judd, there was another car that plowed right into Judd. Up and over goes the 87. Trying to watch it from Mr. Miko's end here and see what he caught. 3-wide battle. It's always difficult at Richmond. I believe that was Greg Mall that barely got away with it. Ronald Klein just scraping through. Wow, good angles from Mr. D'Amico on this as they start to hit the pit stalls. You know, we just switched to it. Oof. Nasty, nasty wreck. Took out a lot of great drivers there. Congrats there, Miss Smith, on that third kid. All right. Judd was on a march there, and like I said, the 87 has not had a particularly great time on Saturday night since switching over to the K&N car. Hard for these guys, didn't get any damage repair done. I think Judd got it from both ends, so he's probably the worst one off. I'll have to take a look at that 85 machine real quick, Mr. D'Amico. I know he's probably on the pit side of things at the moment. Getting it repaired. Ooh, that left front looks bad. These K&N cars actually repair quite well. That damage model is incredible on them. But they repair quite well, so I imagine just a few pit stops and a few lucky chances here will be what gets the 85 machine back out. Everyone's trying to stay on the lead lap. That was involved in that crash. Mark Jackson, let's see, his vehicle, I think they're doubling up here, but Mark looks relatively well, so we'll have to see. We'll get towards the front though, go back with Daniel Smallwood. Most of these guys sit here after 25 laps. I think was the caution mark. Now we're going to get back to another green flag. There goes Daniel Smallwood after the pace car drops. Jason Lance not ready for that restart. And Kevin Winter up and under into second place. We'll have to see how Jason Lance deals with that. Hard racing back around 5th, 6th spot at the moment. We'll have to cover it in just a second. Here comes, I believe, Aaron Bennett on the outside of Dan Murray. Scott Patton with the move on the 86. This is what happens when you get stuck to the outside. 921 makes the pass. Jason Lance looking for the crossover here. We'll see what Lance does. Oh, drives it deep. Scott Patton, again, nicest racers out here. Lets it go. Lets him drive it deep there. It looks to be Dan Murray on the back end of that 86 now. Aaron Bennett right on the bumper. 970, 945. Here comes Aaron Bennett with a low dive. 945 to the bottom showing. Dan Murray cedes the position. This is position number 5 here for Aaron Bennett if he can make it past. Double file racing towards the back somewhat. That 8 machine does have it dialed in. Already out to a 6th lead is Daniel Smallwood, but hard racing here for position number 5. Looks like Aaron Bennett finally makes the pass. Brandon Murray trying to work on guy right now. That is Dan Murray. 2 Murrays right there. I don't think they're related. Brandon's working on Dan here. Rob Haynes just behind. Looked like Rob had a less than stellar pit stop to find himself because he's obviously been in the top 5 under green flag racing. No battle coming to fruition right here unless Brandon Murray makes a dive, and he does not. Try to find some racing out here on the track. Let's see, position number 10, Jeff Merck working on Bernard Markheim. Bernard Markheim almost off the wall. Jeff Merck still going side by side with Vernon. Makes it pass. Now it's Greg Mall's turn. He fills the hole. Keeps Vernon on the high side. That 923, 906 makes a clean pass. Vernon gets the position and gets back down to the bottom side before he loses any more spots in that 923 machine. All the way from 7th to 11th here for Werner Markheim, and about 2 laps. Just behind them, possible pass, the 73, Jeremy Crandall up under the 76. Oh, gets sideways. Ronald Klein gets back to it. 73 dives it deep on the 14. Robert Matisse up there, 73. Crandall not handling well on the bottom, getting well off with those cars to his high side. Oh, and he dives it deep there. Around goes the 14.
How you doing in there, kid?
Let's look at that replay. Hopefully we caught both of them live. 73 just dove her deep in there. Late entry to the corner there for the 73, Jamie Crandall. 14 goes sideways up and high. Hopefully not too much damage on the 14. 2-car caution there. Oh, and they make contact even further after the caution. So, well, there went that minimalist damage output. That unfortunate deal there. 73 really couldn't get the headspace back and get back to it. And he just drove it deep in there. Just my look on it, I could have it different, but I think the EOL will come to the 73. Yep. Mr. D'Amico getting that high view. 73 had lost it on the bottom 2 times in a row, and hopefully we reviewed that as it came up. Cradle having a good night up until that point. It just looked like he drove it too deep. It's unfortunate, especially for the 14. It was probably on the worst end of that outcome. Well, looks like we may have a change of pace out front. Jeff Merck did stay out. Let's see if we can't grab Daniel Smallwood. Yeah, Daniel Smallwood real quick and see what he's got hooked up here tonight for that number 8 machine. Had to have someone stay out to get in front of him now. But Daniel, you look like you're on rails, buddy.
Oh yeah, the thing feels great. I've been driving the A cars for all week and during the day, so it's really tight in the center, loose off and everything. And this baby drives like a dream, I'm telling you.
Well, we saw you dominate Bristol race staying out there. Now, this isn't a one-lane track. You still got a battle on those high sides for the time being when you're there. Is that something you're going to have to worry about this time around?
Really, with this tire being broken, the dynamic track doesn't work, so really that second lane doesn't really work, but you can figure out ways to make it work. It's just really tough. You have to get a lot of green flag laps and get some rubber built down and everything, but old Marcus up here, he's pretty quick. It's gonna give us a run for our money, I think.
All right, you know, any of those secrets out there? I know there's a couple drivers there in chat that aren't racing. What ratio? Can you share anything there?
I'm running 12-1, 65 brake bias.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, I didn't change nothing. That's what I've been running all week, even in the A car. I know Casey Kerwin, he's a pro. He's running 16-1 here. I can't run 16-1 here. It's just you turn the wheel too much. It's really all preference there.
All right. Well, Dan, thanks for those great insights. Nice little share there. Something for other guys to look at, maybe not changing up too much.
Oh, yeah, if I can help anybody, I love to help them out, you know.
All right. Well, Daniel, go back and try to get first place back, lead some more laps. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the evening.
Yep, thank you, buddy.
All right, seeing which driver's going around. Didn't see an EOL come out from that incident yet. I imagine it is going to come from the 73 eventually. Did see the 42, Bob Wells, take the EOL. But I think that was a self-call out there.
Flag. Caution, caution. Okay, quick.
All right, spare lights are out. We're going to get back at it here. There it goes. I marked the fire. He fires early. Gets back to a comfortable lead. Daniel Smallwood with a small tire spin. He's going to have some problems there with Kevin Winter down to the inside. It looks like the yellows back out. Not sure what happened. Yellow, yellow. Seen on my board. Oh, two teammates. Thomas Cristiano and Sean Dewar get together. And I think Trent Drum did have nowhere to go. So let's go up with a 65. That was quick back to it. Yep, 060 Cristiano. Dorr just gets into him. I think Cristiano came down late in the corner, or Dorr drove it in a little bit. I don't know. They're teammates. They could communicate. Just around goes the 060. 65 on the brakes. Trent gets a ton of damage. And I believe that was Anthony G that just drove straight through it. Didn't even brake. Probably going to get a little bit of talking to from the admins about that. I think Crandall gets damaged again. Judd barely missing out on some damage. Bob Wells with some damage against Garrett Potts there, who's many, many laps down. Yeah, that was a quick to the caution. I didn't even see it pop up on my screen, to tell you the truth. I was conversating about racing again. Well, I think that's a perfect segue, though, Mr. D'Amico, and we'll go visit some those sponsors on the commercial as soon as this replay is done, and we'll be right back here live on MaxSpeedTV.
If you're looking for a gift for that special person, or just want to treat yourself, check out Expressions by Erica on Facebook.
Cups, hats, t-shirts,
Heat transfer vinyl.
graphics, and much, much more. Treat yourself with a personalized monogram to go in your Yeti cooler or the back of your car.
Erica does it all.
Need something that says I love you for Valentine's Day, your anniversary, or even birthday? Erica has you covered with the best gift for all of those special occasions. Missy from Facebook says, they did an amazing job on what I ordered. They also did it very quickly, even though I had it shipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. I highly recommend them. Thank you, girls.
Also from Facebook, Casey says, great job. And they did it last minute for me since I completely forgot I needed it. Everyone loved it.
Contact Expressions by Erica by calling 843-810-3883 and like us on Facebook.
Expressions by Erica. iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWrap, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there, and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small. From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off at local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers' paint? iWraps does it all. Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. Search iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than just making laps in a pre-made paint scheme. iWraps, the top of the line in online racing paint wraps.
Mm-hmm. All right, back here at it. Daniel Smallwood making the quick pass over the 78. A little bit of dicey racing going on in the top 10 there. Now Crossover move from Kevin Winter. Pushes Smallwood high. Oh, Smallwood into the wall. He's sideways. He's trying to recover. Decent recovery. 3 wide battle back there with Brandon Murray. Scott Patton looks to be on the outside there. Yields that 3 wide really quickly and smartly from the 921. Smallwood's got to get the head back under him. We saw this happen with the 73. Got to breathe there, Mr. Smallwood. Ooh, getting to it. Wow, that was dangerous there for the 8 machine for a little bit. 921, Scott Patton there, battle for 5th. Oh, around goes Mark Jackson and Jason Lance. Caution out, but I think it started around Mark Jackson. Don't know if he got moved. Replay coming up. Let's see what happened. Mark Jackson stuck on the outside through the corner. Oh, he just sideways and barely taps Jason Lance. Hopefully Jason Lance locked down those tires, but minimal caution there, hopefully, for some of these drivers. I know a lot of ARCA braking could happen when that yellow shows. 86, minimal damage. Mark Jackson, minimal damage. See, yep. Not seeing much damage there. Unfortunately, we came back from the commercial late, and then another quick cautions. These do breed amongst each other. Cautions is the subject. But, I don't know. Hard pressed to see these guys get back to some green flag racing. That was a great start to this race. 25 great laps before our first caution. 115 the mark here tonight. I know it says 100 laps for Talladega tomorrow, but I'm working with the admins to get that changed because no one wants to see 100 laps here on the iRacing server. There's too many laps to figure out who could be a winner at Talladega with no fast repairs, in my opinion. So we'll probably see about a 60, 70 lap race tomorrow night at Talladega here on MaxSpeedTV with the Loose Lug Nuts Racing League. All right, with that quick caution, I'm going to pull up Kevin Winter here. Got Kevin Winter up in the booth before he runs away at the end. Kevin, a hard battle there with Daniel Smallwood. Crossover moves on that restart. Are you feeling boxed in to make these quick moves with the amount of cautions stacking?
Yeah, I think these cautions are going to be breeding cautions, and I think we showed that last week on Sunday in the Cup Series. We had a couple long runs, and then at the end we had a lot of cautions, so track position is key. A lot of these guys are quick, they're fast, they're digging hard, and you got to do what you can to try to stay up front so we don't tear our shit up.
Yeah, with that 78 machine, though, I mean, you look like a good second, third place car on that long run. You feel that way, or do you feel you can be better than Smallwood with that clean air?
I'm not sure. Smallwood is pretty fast tonight. I mean, you're right. I'm probably a second, third place car. The clean air, if we can get up there and see what it's like, see if we can actually run up there a little better than we have been in dirty air, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I'll be happy with the top 5 tonight.
Well, starting on the outside again, how key is it for you being position number 2 on the outside to get a clean start and fill that hole immediately to the leader?
Well, it's tough. Like you seen the last restart there, we got teammates here. They're taking off at the same time, so it's just trying to be on my game and not spin the tires and just try to, like I said, stay in position. We don't want to get freight trained. Otherwise, we'll have to work just as hard to try to get back up front.
All right, man. I mean, you've been having a couple great weekends stacking up in a row. Minimal damage for you, and it's really looking good for that 78 team. Hopefully we can see it here at the end of the night.
Appreciate it.
All right, 78 of Kevin Winter. A little bit of insights from his position number 2. Got a good amount of fans out there here on MaxSpeedTV live watching us. Thank you, if I haven't already told you that, for tuning in. Jeff Merck back to Green Flag Racing here at Richmond International Raceway. Kevin Winter with a little bit slower restart. Smallwood on his bumper. Smallwood drives it deep on that position number 2 outside line. Gonna fall to the outside of Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray a little bit sideways. Let's watch that number 2 battle for third. Smallwood trying to fit the car in there. Brandon Murray, nice little tag there on the middle of corner number 4. Still up under Smallwood, and quick back to the caution. We're gonna have to take a look to see where it's at. These admins are gonna have to get on top of these guys really quickly. Let's see, again with the 65, I believe that's where it started. He was already around. Yep, 65, Sean Dorr. Oh, he takes himself out after getting sideways, and there comes in the 060 of Thomas Cristiano, taking out the 96 of Craig Covington. So back cautions from the 65 and 060 involved in it, his teammate there. Back of the field cautions are really going to aggravate these leaders. Lap down guys are going to love it, like Judd Danielson and Anthony Giuliano. See who gets the wave around this time. I believe it will be Judd Danielson. Yep, 85 Judd Danielson going to get back on the lead lap after his involvement in caution number 1. Sean Dorr, that 65, takes it over the wall. See which cars stay on the track this time around. As speaking of that caution, though, Sean Dorr just got loose, decided to put it in the wall to avoid the massive cars below him, but there was a separate incident back there with the 96 and 060. Let's do a top 10 rundown real quick. See who's sticking around our top 10 during the pacing moments. Had about, I would say, a good 30-lap run here of pacing. Hopefully they get it figured out now that we've had a couple cars disconnect. Jeff Merck still leads us. He's on really old tires. Kevin Winter second. Daniel Smallwood's made it back to third. Brandon Murray fourth. Scott Patton fifth. Aaron Bennett sixth. Rob Haynes seventh. Greg Mall eighth. Ronald Klein up to ninth. And Wes Holland took the deal there for that first caution. He's got it semi-repaired and back up to 10th. Yeah, Judd back on the lead lap. He'll restart around 21st, but behind the long line if there's any lap cars back there. Which there is. I think Mark Jackson, nope. It'd be Anthony G. Be the last one. Maybe Trent Drum. Yeah, Trent Drum's 4 laps down. He's hoping some of these one-lappers get back to the lead pretty quickly so he can start earning back some laps. I'm glad y'all can't see the driver chat or hear it. I don't like hearing it, but they get at it to one another pretty decently. Here we go. Pace car is going to dive down momentarily. Jeff Merck's going to have the call on the restart after it drops. There it goes. Jeff Merck holding, and checks up and goes. I don't think the 8 of Smallwood's going to like that small check there. Kevin Winter stays with it, gets back to position number 2. Got to watch the corner entry behind the rest of these guys. Oh, Jeff Merck on the high side. Kevin Winter takes advantage, goes to the bottom. Here is a battle for the lead. See if Kevin Winter can get to it. Still has the bottom spot. Jeff Merck racing real hard on the outside. Ooh, Kevin Winter going to get it here through positions 1, 2, and 3, all under blanket and caution. Back out again. Let's see what happened. Thornhill through the grass. Judd's around. Robert Matisse is around. I'm not sure where it all originated from, but let's see. Yep, 68 gets sideways, comes down on top of the 86 out of turn number 4. Contact, Thornhill, Jason Lance, Vern Markheim, Bob Wells decently gets through it. I think Judd just turned the car around, as did the 14. There was a lot of, after the fact braking going on. Replay here with Mr. D'Amico to see all who was involved. Like I said, Mark Jackson, I think Jeremy Crandall re-involved in another incident. Judd's around, 14 to Robert Matisse. You'll notice a lot of back bumpers there from people not getting on the brakes. It is kind of hard, though. See 86 getting a EOL there. I'm not sure that is the correct call. I think Brandon Thornhill was sideways and came down on top of the 86, unless Mr. D'Amico can call it differently in my ear. Which is unfortunate. Brandon Thornhill's not a bad dude. He just got a little bit sideways off of turn 4. Ain't nothing anyone else hasn't done this race thus far. Yeah, well. Maybe Jason Lance took responsibility for it. I don't know. We looked at it differently, that's for sure, up here. And whatever y'all saw out there on Mr. D'Amico's replay, you can form your own opinions too. Beauty of it, I get to say stuff and y'all get to comment on it. So drivers can get all ticked off about it if they want. I think Thornhill actually didn't get back to the pace car. Yeah, there's an EOL to the 68, but he got out late, so he was going to be back there no matter what. Semi-self-penalizing. Vernon Markheim off the speedway. He was having a decent race. Stinks for him. He didn't have that much damage compared to what some of these guys had. I wish he would have tried to repair that machine. Oh, 96 drops connection. That's Craig Covington. Don't get to see too much of Craig. He usually starts in the back and tries to work his way to the front. Maybe those southern storms are starting to brew up here in the south. I know Craig lives over there in the Carolina region, so maybe they're getting some of those storms. This is what happens sometimes when you break that momentum, and cautions do breed cautions. But gosh, that 25-lap run to start this race was looking nice, and then they got all racy with 3 wide, and one after another we ticked down. Looks like we're going to go back to green on lap 71. So I mean, it's up to the drivers on how much they want to pace. Your competitors are probably getting on the mic themselves, telling the other guys to straighten out just as much as the admins are. There goes the 86. He's off the speedway. I didn't think he had too much damage. Yeah, maybe just a quick EOL there. The 86 got him upset, but I think the right EOL was eventually handed out. None that the 86 couldn't overcome. He was a top 5 car there for the beginning of the race. That's what happens sometimes when you get stuck back there in traffic. Got to dance around the danger. Here we go, pace car down. Kevin Winter going to lead us off this time. Smallwood back to second. Here goes Kevin Winter with the green flag. Scott Patton on the inside. Oh, Daniel Smallwood immediately protects. Scott Patton semi under him. He shortens the corner. Looks like Brandon Murray's stuck on the outside. Scott Patton's not going to like that. I mean, that guy's a good dude. There's no way I'd race that nice. Brandon Murray on that outside. Scott Patton, position number 3 here. Battle. Daniel Smallwood's actually working his way back to Kevin Winter. Ooh, Scott Patton just nose ahead of Brandon Murray, Aaron Bennett, and Greg Mall. Most of those guys are in the same team speak. Good, strong battle. Let's look at Daniel Smallwood. Quick move up under the 78. Smallwood down. He moves Kevin Winter up. Kevin Winter wants to shut the door. Kevin Winter shuts the door. Scott Patton to the bottom. Oh boy, Scott Patton does not want the 8 to jump away. Smallwood back to the lead. Probably the fastest car of the night. Let's see if Scott Patton get to him. Nope, Kevin Winter jumps up under the 921. Rough racing here through the corners. Not going to do good for position number 2. 945. Aaron Bennett a little bit loose. Brandon Murray trying to get that door to stay open under Scott Patton. Oh, slides to the corner. Scott Patton goes around. Yellow. Going to be called there on Brandon Murray. He did slide the corner. A little bit high in there. Let's go take a look at it. Replay coming up here. Yeah, Scott Patton's already high in his lane. Brandon Murray just overdrove his corner entry. Contact with 921 of Scott Patton. Backs her into the wall there. That stinks for Scott Patton. Rough racing, like I said. Minimal damage on the back end of the 921. Oh, actually, second incident back there with the 42 and the 199. But yeah, initial caution will be on the 2 and the 921. 2 probably at fault for that one there. $199 checks go in the corner. Judd didn't see the check. Maybe there wasn't a call out. 42 Bob Wells T-bones the 199 with that second incident. But yeah, all eyes were up ahead of him with Brandon Murray and Scott Patton. Waiting to see what the admin calls out here real quick. Gonna bring up the 906 of Greg Mall. He's just out of the pits. We'll see what happens with him. Gonna bring up the 906 of Greg Mall. Like I said, talk to him here in the booth. Cautioning right now continues. Great run on Thursday, like I've mentioned to you. But how do you feel with your car?
Car feels good so far. It's just wish we had a little bit longer run to really get our legs stretched out here and get ourselves comfortable in a decent spot to where we can get the field stretched out. But overall, the car feels pretty good. I guess we're just a little bit past halfway now, so hopefully we can get a decent run here to the finish and see what we got to offer here. So,
now, where do you find yourself fitting in the fast runners of the field right now? Do you think you can crack that podium again?
I don't know about a short run. I feel like over the course of probably a 20 or 25 lap run, I think we were right up there in terms of pace. So hopefully we can keep it going here until the end and see what we really have to show here. So,
all right, Greg. Well, again, great job on Thursday. Let's see how you finish out here tonight, buddy, and maybe talk to you later on.
All right, thanks, sir.
Alrighty, Daniel Smallwood's back to that lead. I don't think he's going to give it up. I haven't seen an EOL come out yet after talking with Greg Mahler, so still waiting for it. It should be leveled against the second place driver, Brandon Murray, at this point. But admins are on the track too. They're taking the honor system. I don't know. I think On my end, it was just the same as Mr. D'Amico's of the two. I'm not seeing the EOL come out, so no one, the two or anyone else is saying what happened, probably. Gonna be back to green flag racing, hopefully. Lap number 80 this time around to see the green flag. Daniel Smallwood back to that lead. There he goes. Green at Richmond. Battle for position number 2. Aaron Bennett up under the 2 of Brandon Murray. There are some tire differences heading back to the top 10. 2-3 wide battles. Here's Brandon Murray dived down up under the 945. 945 has the high side, trying to roll off full. Justin Michael just looking back there now. That man was upside down lap number 25. Now up to 4th is the 87. Brandon Murray, Aaron Bennett battling hard. Here comes the rest of the field. Dan Murray, Jeff Merck just behind Justin Michael. Aaron Bennett gets the position finally. Daniel Smallwood's leaking away. And it is not a soft drip either. That is a steady and great stream of a leak. There goes Daniel Smallwood. Brandon Murray up to 3rd. Justin Michael is going to be working on him. Let's see if we can't find some action in the field. Position number 10. Battle going on. David Johnson and Scott Patton. Scott Patton probably the faster of the cars between them. But David Johnson doing a good job there. Probably maybe a little bit older tires there for the 15. Still working the bottom. Ooh, here comes Rob Haynes. Steady on the bottom. Judd Danielson in this mix too. Starting to stack up a little bit here. Scott Patton gets on the high side. Gets away from 15. David Johnson still holds to the bottom. Looks to be strong down there. Oh, almost up into the 85. Rob Haynes almost 3 wide spot. Judd Danielson has to back off to the high side. Makes a 3 wide move. Almost through the corner. Judd almost into the wall. Has to track it back down. Ooh, getting dangerous there. Judd Danielson, Ronald Klein almost together. David Johnson and 85 with Judd Danielson tangling. Judd has to calm down real quick. David Johnson's really slow. Oh, Judd to the wall, 952. Almost damaged. Like I said, Judd, breathe there, dude. 15's trying to work down, but can't find a spot. I don't know what the 15's doing at this point. It's a log jam, and Judd Danielson's the bad guy. He's into the wall again. Yeah, 85 driving with anger there, driving with fire. Oof, Judd, buddy, breathe there. All right, got past the 15, does the 85. Boy, he had to work it, didn't he? Wall to wall to, door to door there for Judd Danielson. A lot of cars passing Judd in that scenario, so we'll have to see what happens. Let's go back, see if we can't find another battle. I mean, we worked through the whole field just watching that 15 machine. Let's see what's going on. They're starting to stretch out, which is a good thing, folks. I hope you don't mind them stretching out a bit, because that caution was getting a little bit tiring. I mean, most of the action's still here with the 15, if we want to say, with David Johnson passing James Noon. So, I mean, David Johnson has his car under. I just don't think he feels comfortable on the high side. And when he got up there, well, he has a bad corner exit, that 15 machine does. Now Mark Jackson's on the back end of him. On the lead lap again is Mark. This is about where Mark qualified in the running order. Obviously probably feels a little bit faster with maybe a tire difference going on. 15 leaking to the high side. Here comes the 951. Almost a 3 wide spot here. Mark Jackson powers through. David Johnson barely hanging on that outside. Looks like Garrett Potts, James Noon going to go to the bottom here. Smartly they do. 951. I think this battle's finally come out into its fruition here. 12 of Trent Drum getting off the speedway there. Getting back on the speedway, excuse me. He is 24 laps down. Probably beat up that car a little bit more than he wanted here tonight. How about we go check out our leader? Daniel Smallwood 1 second ahead of the rest of the racing group here. Leading it out and away. Good race here tonight from Daniel Smallwood. Has it figured out. Second place on back there is Aaron Bennett. He's having a good race finally. Didn't like Irwindale. Did not do well for him. Oh, and caution comes out. Let's see where it happened. Oh boy. 87.78. Just inside the top 10. We'll have to see what happened here. We'll have to back it up some and see what they were just blocking and battling, both diving it deep, and I think 87 came off the bottom a little bit more than what the 78 did. 78 obviously threw a little bit of a block in there. One of those things that are bound to happen, but unfortunately, right as the race was getting it going again. So Justin Michael there with the contact. I don't know, maybe both drivers a little bit at a fault in that situation. You tell me what you think, fans. The only thing we can do is guesstimate up here in the booth and in chat. I'm sure they're very reluctant drivers to wave their hand and say I'm at fault at this point of a race. Not a lot of time to make up, winding down towards the final 20 laps. Yeah, 87 probably would be a fault for diving it in there. That's a good opinion there, Flyboy. Like I said, I thought the 78 maybe threw a little bit of a small block, but obviously I think the speed was way too much there for the 87 to handle going through the corner, because he obviously bounced up off into the 78. I don't know, both at fault for those drivers, but I think, yeah, if you want to level a percentage of blame there, I think 87 machine holds a higher percentile there in that situation. Number 4 is coming. Yep. Wes Holland responsible for that first caution. Mr. Reckham now finds himself in the 4th position in that number 4 machine. Going to let these drivers drive it out here at the end of the race. Nice solid green flag run there for about 10 to 15 laps. Yeah, if we have been watchers here, especially, it's a good thing to look at. I mean, he doesn't have his buddy there anymore, the 78 of Kevin Winter, to race hard, but Wes Holland sure doesn't make interesting here on MaxSpeedTV. Last 2 races we've seen him off of turn number 4, K&N Irwindale last week here at Richmond in the Cup car, both with Kevin Winter for a podium spot. Final lap, those drivers made it an amazing race. Maybe he can do the same with the likes of Jeff Merck and probably Aaron Bennett, probably the 2 closest guys, as Daniel Smallwood is just in another league here tonight. The yellow guys, the Mr. Cristiano and Sean Dewar, I think both are off the track. If we're looking at other yellow cars, I think maybe Mr. Crandall, the 73, is also, no, he's 6 laps down, but still on the speedway. It's not really yellow. I'm not really sure what that color is on Mr. Crandall's car. Going to be back to green here on lap number 98, shooting for 115. Thank you for all those likes out there, all the people watching. Y'all make this what it is here for me up here talking, communicating with everyone. There goes the pace car. Daniel Smallwood back to it.
Great.
Aaron Bennett probably going to protect his spot right here the best he can. Oh, around goes Wes Holland. He keeps it straight. What a recovery. Around goes Wes Holland again.
Oh, man, I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, big old stack up. Wow. Wes Holland is not a happy camper. He recovered it, and then there was a 3 wide, and oh boy, let's just look here. I'm laughing, but it's a hurtful laugh. All right, let's see what happened. Wes Holland on the high side. 76 may have tagged him on corner entry, maybe not knowing what Wes Holland was doing. So there's the initial. Wes Holland maybe straightened it up on the side door of the 921. Rob Haynes then gets back into him. It's just too many cars in one spot. Wes may have leaked down maybe a quarter lane, but he was still trying to get the car under him. Some patience back there from the guys behind him. I think if there's going to be a penalty there, probably on the 76. Everyone else after involved. Let's see what happened with some of those guys. I think Judd may have gave up his brake pedal during that. No. Wow, Bob Wells actually gave up the brake pedal. Judd Danielson got that car slowed down well enough. And Judd was upside down. Think he has to reset the car. Judd not having the greatest night here. What adversity, though, for that 85 team having to come back from already one lap. Don't think he has enough time to do it. Yeah, 76 self-EOLs there, gives them to himself. Brandon Murray with damage in front of our leader, trying to stay on the lead lap. I think Mark Jackson may have been involved in that. He's sitting there on pit road. Miracle enough, I don't think the 4 got an extreme amount of damage. But he is 1 lap down. Don't think he was able to get that car turned around and go in the right direction before the pace car caught him up. So there goes the 4's night probably. Show the top 10 real quick of what it really is. Daniel Smallwood first. Jeff Burke second. Aaron Bennett third. Scott Patton back up to 4th. Greg Mull 5th. Kevin Winter 6th. Dan Murray 7th where he qualified. David Johnson back in the top 10. I think he stuck out again. He's 8th. James Noon slowly, steadily into the top 10. He's 9th. And Brandon Thornhill 10th. Yep, 3 machine off the track. Getting back at it. Green flag will reappear on lap 104. Not too many laps ahead. Sure, we're up there close to double digits in cautions now. Rough night for some of these drivers. Here we go, back to green flag racing. Jeff Burke almost took that spot away from Daniel Smallwood. Daniel Smallwood back to it. Scott Patton takes over 3rd. Kevin Winter working on Aaron Bennett for 4th. Aaron Bennett there. Greg Mull on the outside. Kevin Winter looks to be up under Greg Mull at the moment. Greg Mull trying to choose his spot. Here comes Dan Murray in the 970 machine. Front end damage there. Greg Mull trying to get down. Not going to be able to. He's going to leak back to about 7th. Smallwood out and away. Battle for 2nd going on. Or excuse me, battle for the lead. Jeff Burke now out in front. Oh, I think Daniel Smallwood missed the corner somewhere. Back to the front we are. Jeff Burke is leading us. What a turn of events here. Smallwood loose off the corner. Did he lose the car? Here comes Scott Patton. Caution is out.
Really doing a great job, man.
And, well, where we were watching is where the caution came from. 906 and 951 involved. We'll see what happens there. I imagine we'll come up to a green-white checkered or just at it. Let's see what happened. 906, Greg Mall. Up sideways off of turn 4. Turns it, and there's the 951. Both those guys, first time in an incident, I do believe. At least the 906, first time officially involved in his own incident. Boy, oh boy, I wish we would have seen what happened with Jeff Merck and Daniel Smallwood to get to the spot they were. I know we're going to show that replay real quick where the caution came out, but I'm going to go back on my end and try to give you a better idea of what happened with Daniel Smallwood. Oh boy, I already got it, what happened. We'll finish up that replay, and then I'll tell you all the story of Daniel Smallwood and why he is in second. Greg Mall claims responsibility for that one. Well, story is going to say that Daniel Smallwood got loose in the middle of the corner, come off of turn 2 loose, and Jeff Merck beat him to turn 3 on the inside. And that's why we see the 60 machine up there. Daniel Smallwood is going to have a limited time to do what he wants on that outside. Now, those guys are teammates, so to say, the 8 and the 60. But I don't know. Daniel Smallwood was such a great race. I don't think he wants to lose this one just based off of one corner and a caution that came out while he was behind. Flyboy, yeah. So with the rash of cautions, I mean, there's 10,000 active viewers, or not viewers, but more people here on iRacing. We're a recruitment season during the summer before we get to our trophy side of things. So we're trying to hand down penalties, trying to get racing under control with our veterans of the league and our newcomers to the league. Newcomers, you'll see, mostly have 9s or 0s in front of their the numbers. Their first number will be a triple digit that starts with a 9 or a 0. I think we're getting close to that double digit number of cautions, if not there already. Ain't nothing what the pros didn't do, or will do, tomorrow. They have certainly shown on the iRacing pros did, I think, 15 under 200 laps. Maybe a little bit more. Was it 16? We'll see how much the official pros do tomorrow, I believe. Pace car lights are out. Going to go green 113. We'll see if we need those official green-white checkers. 2 of them are in place, though.
Green flag, green flag.
Back to that green flag. Merck with a good jump. Daniel Smallwood's going to get to the bottom side and protect it from Scott Patton. Now he's going to drive it deep to try to make up time against Jeff Merck. Jeff Merck's just in the easy seat right now. Daniel Smallwood seems to have lost something on the car. Kevin Winter and Aaron Bennett back there battling, but I don't want to take our attention away from the front. 1:14, 2 laps to go, 2-finger show. Smallwood drives it again. I don't know, that restart was so good from Jeff Merck. Daniel Smallwood's going to have to find something else to make up the time. 15 of David Johnson to the wall back there. Still staying at the front. Oh, Smallwood loose again. Scott Patton goes to the bottom. He gets blocked from Smallwood. Kevin Winter now under the 921. Still looking at the front here. Merck on his final lap. Smallwood dives it down. Smallwood gonna come up just short here at Richmond. Jeff Merck takes the win. Boy, oh boy, what a turn of events. Smallwood probably best car all night, but that doesn't matter. One mistake and a caution later, Jeff Merck finds himself victorious. Scott Patton comes home third. Kevin Winter fourth. Aaron Bennett fifth. Dan Murray sixth. Brandon Thornhill seventh. Rob Haynes eighth. Anthony Giuliano ninth. And Bob Wells with the top 10. I'll get these drivers lined up. All right, we'll get a full rundown of where everyone finished after we talk to these guys. Not quite sure why the 60 machine looks to be absolutely junked here, but all right, let's see what that replay does. I'm going to look at it myself. It's not good to see the leader junked at the end. I mean, that was from teammates, but we'll sit here and get our winning interview here from the 60 machine of Jeff Merck. Talk about, taking care of business when you had to. Put yourself there in second, waited for Daniel Smallwood to make his one mistake of the night, and now you've accomplished a win here at Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do with Smallwood. I mean, you really got to hope he makes a mistake to get around him. He's probably one of the fastest guys in here. If he don't make a mistake, he's going to make it hard on you to get around him. He made the mistake, and I was there to pounce on it. So, I mean, he's a teammate of mine, and we was communicating over the radio. I mean, 1-2 over the top motorsports finish again. So, got to make the big boss man proud. Even though I'm a little beat up here, but we managed to roll her to the line.
Yep. Hopefully a love up there from the 8, I think.
Yeah, it was. He was just a congratulatory bump, and it just turned me right into the wall. I'd like to thank all my fans out there on YouTube that's watching. They know who they are, so really, really proud of this Skeeter over the top motorsports ride. John painted it up for me, and put her in victory lane.
Yep, congrats on that, Merck. Thank you for an incredible race out there towards the end. Sorry, a little bit of caution, but I don't think did you mean not to qualify and work your way through the field? Was that your objective here tonight?
No, I tried something with my steering ratio in qualifying, and it was so loose off the corners I couldn't keep it straight. And coming to the line, coming to the white flag, I got loose coming off of 4. Spun it sideways before the line and got contact, and after I crossed the line, I hit the wall, so it didn't count either lap.
I hear you on that. Well, again, congrats, buddy. Thanks for those shout-outs, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Thanks for the broadcast. Look forward to going back and watching it.
All right, second place, Daniel Smallwood. Talked to him earlier. Dude, one mistake, and there goes your dominance here tonight. But, I mean, P2, not that bad, but really has to be heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah, it kind of burned. When we came down that last time I pitted, we took 2 tires, and from the get-go from the 2 tires, it didn't feel right. I think I fell back to round 4, got back up to the lead, and we was gone there for a little bit, and we had another caution, and I felt like I was in a position where I couldn't come down and take tires, and I made my bed and had to do what I had what I had to do with. After that, I just got bad loose off of turn 2, and Merch, he just had the better tires, able to get back up there, get it to me. I don't know what happened there after the race. I was just trying to give him a couple love taps, and all of a sudden he's getting thrown into the wall. I apologize to him for that one.
It looked bad, but talking with Merc, talking with yourself, I know y'all are buddies. We prefer clean cars there at the end if they're not beat up from the race. That's so. But I can't say anything else. I mean, we talked about you all night. I think we let you go quite a few times to talk about the other guys of how far you were in front. There was just no action around you for the most part. But what can you do but come back tomorrow night, maybe at Dega, or next week when we start hitting those 1.5 miles, and hopefully that 8 machine is going to find the winner circle soon.
Yeah, Dega's going to be up in the air. Everybody's going to have a chance to win. It's going to be a fun race. I love restricted plate racing, but it's kind of bittersweet getting the second place finish here. It's kind of I guess you could say, the end to the short track racing for a little bit. I love short track racing. It's best to me. It's the best racing out there. I guess because I'm so good at it. I guess I don't know, but I just love watching it. And love racing. It's fun racing for me. Hope we can come back soon.
All right, Daniel, go ahead and thank final people that you need to.
Okay, I gotta thank John Hendrick for the Overtop Designs, Over the Top. They're a good group of guys. John threw his paint together like 2 to 3 hours before the race. It's a good paint. Mom and Dad are out there watching. You guys for broadcasting. You are great. I love watching the broadcast back. Everybody puts this on, lets us race. Hopefully it's a good race there tomorrow for the Invitational, Pro Invitational. Everybody stay safe out there with the virus going around. Hopefully we get back to going soon.
All right, Dan, thanks for that, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
Yep, thank you.
All right, third place finisher, final interview of the night here on MaxSpeedTV, Mr. Scooter. Scott Patton, up and down, but really, dude, you were a nice driver. You let so many people get up under you with deep dives. I hope you go back and listen to me. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that, Scott. And he lets him by. But, dude, you were nice and still finished third. So, I mean, nice guys can finish up towards the top, right?
Yeah, I felt like the first half of the race was all about kind of the give and take and giving those guys those lines. But then I was like, you know what? It's my turn now in the second half. So once we got stuck in the back there, making some moves, and I felt like I was driving out the rear view mirror just as much as the front there. So, but some awesome racing, a lot of talent out here, especially up front, and great time overall.
Yeah, a little bit of a soft, caution field, but those green flag events, or even the short runs, the way you look at them, you got them, and they're coming, and be it in the front of the pack or the back of the pack. Thankfully, a lot of them were in the back, but sometimes you just got to make quick moves. And is that a byproduct of short track racing for you, or you think some of those guys would just handle themselves and it would have been better?
Yeah, I don't know where as far as the wrecking tonight, I'm not sure. I didn't see a whole lot of it, so I'm guessing it was in the back half of the field, which gets frustrating at times, but it's kind of the reality of the short track racing. As guys kind of learn to get more experience. But yeah, glad we could at least be out in the front at the end when it counted.
Well, I mean, like I said, wheeling off some quick victories on the K&N ARCA side of things, and then I think you did well at Dega enough, or not Dega, but excuse me, Irwindale. So, another podium finish for the 921. Looking well here. Go ahead and thank those that you need to, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jeff. I got to thank, big shout out to Turbulence Monster Trucks on the hood again tonight. Appreciate their sponsorship. Check out their Facebook page if you haven't, at Turbulence Monster Truck. It's Captain John Fitzgerald driving that. So he keeps us protected, keeps the bumper straight on the car, and came home with a nice podium. So appreciate it.
All right, Scott. Well, hopefully we get to see you tomorrow night at Dega in the Cup Car. If not, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Sounds good, Jeff. Thanks for all you do. Take care.
All right, final shout-outs to you fans out there that watching racers come back and watch, or maybe even watch it live. Who knows? I think we had up to about 20 active viewers. We'll be back here live tomorrow night, like I said, at Dega, Talladega Super Speedway with the Cup Car. Hopefully dumbing down those laps a little bit. Getting to it. Mr. D'Amico with that great, shots here tonight on our replays. We try to work at it and get those best views possible to make some of those calls that we do here in the booth. Let's talk about our sponsors real quick and one final time. Roosie Racewear USA, your way, their slogan there. Go check them out on their page. Look at their boots, their gloves, any of the other material they have up there for karting or sim racing. You can find them also on Facebook, along with Over the Top Designs. Mr. John Hendrick, best painter on iRacing, paints about majority of the field here at Loose Lug Nuts. So he also has his Facebook page, and great way to contact him or any of the other painters there. Obviously, Loose Lug Nuts Racing Group with the Facebook page. The best way to stay in contact with Loose Lug Nuts, all the information distributed through the Facebook page. If you're not a part of it, go ahead and get signed up to it. We got MaxSpeedTV, ASN, our broadcasters and sponsors here. Gavi Valley Painting and RaceGear.com. It was a little bit of struggle here tonight. Hopefully, exciting ending somewhere in the middle, maybe. But thank you all for coming out. Stay safe, everyone. Keep away. Do what you need to stay safe out there with the virus, like Mr. Smallwood said. And we'll catch everyone here tomorrow night.